stabbed him.
My brain was telling me.
Your brain was telling you that you were nearing
You're nearing death.
We're just killing each other and it's pointless.
About yet another stabbing which has led to the death of a 21-year-old man named Gideon.
All stabbed to death. A fifth in custody on suspicion of murder.
He was 21 years old and he was killed in a fight inside the shopping mall. They were called to Brent Cross Shopping Centre.
Inside the house, they made a dreadful discovery of 4 people who had been stabbed.
In the family, if the family help the children to grow up with fearing God and teaching them how to behave outside the house, it's gonna be a good thing. And the second thing I can say, they take away the power from the school and the teacher. They need to bring back that power, to give the teacher the power to help our children to behave in a good way that we can show them. And the third one, I can say the police, I can say, in this country, they take away even the power from the police. That's why our children are behaving the way they want. But if there is something that's in the family, in the school, and the police, I think there will be a change.
Everyone is still affected by it. I don't think anyone's really moved on. We still think about it, because one second he was here and the next second he's not. You think you have an unlimited amount of time with your family and the people that you love.
And yeah, I saw, a lot of violence, a lot of gun and knife crime, a lot of rivalry, well, especially within like postcode walls.
I would describe Julian's personality. I would say he's very calm. He wasn't someone that was quick to anger. He had a lot of friends for a reason, because people could come to him. He's not someone that would look for trouble. He was someone that people will come to for advice. I especially saw that in his community and with his friends. Whatever age range, people will always talk to Gideon. I didn't see anyone that had a problem with him.
From where I came from, that was the reality.
you wake up today and you won't be surprised if they actually telling you, okay, your cousin or your brother or your friend have been killed. Waste your 7 years just waiting for the home office to get back to you, and you don't know how long it will take again.
I've been on asylum process for 8 years now. I'm still waiting. I haven't heard anything for about my case. I'm just waiting for it, and I haven't heard anything. So sometimes it's very cold. I can't even go outside, and also sometimes it's hot, rain all the time, and I'm just trying to adapt myself, and it's very different from where I came from. That's true.
I've witnessed my family being killed, and I don't know what I've done to actually survive. I had it somewhere, and by God's grace, they couldn't kill me.
I was in the country. I couldn't find my family anywhere. I was in danger. I was physically abused, mentally abused, and it was very difficult for me.
Asylum system in the UK, according to the law, normally it's up to 6 months. But depending on cases, I've seen in our community, I say there's the Congolese community, the French speakers, we've seen cases up to 10 months, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
I was worried about what's gonna happen tomorrow. It was more like you're gonna die tomorrow. But here I can get the freedom. I've got the little piece that really keep me going.
Although life is tough, but I still have hope for the future. And I know one day I will be united with my family, and I will fulfill my dream of one day become a nurse. I want to give back to society what society has given it to me.
Yeah, and me being here is a miracle. I'm happy. I'm happy to be in the UK. Really, really happy.
She burnt me with an iron and forced me to sleep on the sofa. Police wouldn't believe me if I reported her.
She burnt me with...
Managed to call 999 before
Glass.
she isolated me from all...
Domestic abuse is often portrayed as a gendered crime, perpetrated by men against women. But many men suffer physical, emotional, sexual, and financial abuse from their intimate partners. Through the lens of these survivors, we are exposed to the complex and disturbing realities of men in the hands of their abusers and the remarkable journeys they undertake to rebuild their lives.
I think male abuse is grossly overlooked. It's grossly underreported. And studies have shown, or researchers have shown, that the numbers of males being domestically abused is going up because of the masculinity of the males. They tend to, live with this kind of abuse for a very long time, not until it's actually getting out of hand, when things are getting really bad, before they tend to come forward. And at that point, that's it, most probably be going to the police. and then the GP gets involved. And when such thing happen, we put a safeguarding meeting in place. We invite them to have a chat and then talk about what's been said or what the report we've got and what safety netting they've had in place.
According to the national statistics, 1.7 million women and 699,000 men experienced domestic abuse in 2022.
The violence, as I said, consisted of a hard slap across the face for about 18 months, beating me. Once she tried to pull me out of the bath by my foot. She beat me across the chest. She whipped me with a belt. I got marks on my back from a studded belt. She was in a rage. She was in an uncontrollable rage. And then there were 3 occasions of the course of a week where she assaulted me really quite seriously. The last time over an extended period, or twice in a day. I was chased upstairs, and I didn't respond at all, other than trying to protect myself. And she ripped my clothes. A friend of mine had to collect me from outside the house to get away. And that night, the next morning, I thought I might be suffering from slight concussion, so I thought I'd better just report this to my doctor, to my GP. And the GP advised me to go to the police.
Many men are trapped in abusive relationships for years without telling anyone. The one thing an abusive person works hard to do is to isolate their partner from their friends and family.
I'd been isolated from all my friends and family, so I didn't feel I had anywhere else to go, or I could get away from it even if I wanted to. There's nowhere for men to go. There are no refuges, especially if you've got children. There's absolutely nowhere for you to go. And it may sound old-fashioned and stupid, but I believe that it's better for parents to stay together in a family unit for the children if they possibly can. I spent £50,000 trying to see my children, going through the court. I tried my hardest to keep the 3 of them together, and I had them outside of my control, ripped apart as a family. And I've always tried to look like I'm happy for my children, but a lot of the time I'm not. The system failed me, and it failed, more importantly, my children.
Experts say many men do not speak up due to the stigma attached.
Well, I think for many men, they feel a real sense of shame and embarrassment. They feel that the abuse that they're suffering from makes them less of a man. And also they fear that they won't be believed or taken seriously if they do tell anybody. In addition, they're not often aware that there's services and helplines which are available to them.
Behind their smiling facade lay hidden anguish as they suffer silently in the hands of their abusers.
The impact that it has on men ranges from psychological abuse, they feel isolated, that they feel humiliated, they feel ground down. Obviously stems also and crosses over into physical abuse, so they have physical injuries to deal with, and also economic abuse where they have no control on their finances or made bankrupt, and also other issues about coercive control where they're in fear, they're being harmed, they're being isolated from friends and family. But the one thing that many victims tell me when they become survivors is that when it comes to physical injuries, you know, the scars will heal, the broken bones will heal, and the injuries will start to heal. But the issue often with them is the psychological and emotional abuse that they've had of being ground down, being told they're worthless, being humiliated. That can take many, many years to actually overcome and allow those men to get on and rebuild their lives.
The effect of abuse can vary from minimal, losing my family, losing my friend, to actually taking my own life.
There are no set ways for healing and rebuilding, as each survivor's story is different.
I have a very good support network. I've had to find a deep faith within myself to keep myself going and spend time in nature early in the mornings and things like that.
With each passing day, these resilient souls embarked on a journey of healing, learning to overcome the trauma that had plagued their lives.
My best advice that I'm going to give to any man undergoing domestic abuse is he should seek help. And helps are available. He shouldn't keep quiet. They shouldn't suffer in silence. They shouldn't think it's their fault. And they are not alone.
There's thousands of men going through this every single day, but also importantly, there's thousands of men leaving abusive relationships all of the time. So if you are in trouble, if you are in an abusive relationship, you can escape. Many men just like you do.
Hi Dad, it's me.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, they let me out today.
Suppose you want to come in then?
Place really hasn't changed.
Changed? Why would I change anything? It's where your mother left it.
I didn't mean it in a bad way. I miss her too.
Your father didn't know what he was doing, Matty.
Mum, he reported goods stolen to claim insurance money. It's serious.
Matty, it is a victimless crime. Do you know how much we pay out in insurance every year? Business hasn't been good. Your father was only trying his best.
What have the solicitors said about it?
Well, he said it wasn't good, not with your father's previous problems a few years back. But you know your father, Matty. He wouldn't do in a prison.
Okay, so what other options are there?
Well, I was thinking, if you told the police that you did it.
You can't be serious.
Matty, just bear with me. The solicitor said it would only be a slap on the wrist, in and out in a few months.
Are you really asking me to do this?
Matthew, Would you want me to be left all alone while your poor old dad rots away in prison? Would you be happy with that?
Insurance fraud has become a far too common issue. I feel an example must be made of you. I sentence you to 6 years in prison.
Oh, Matty, I didn't know it would be like this. Your father couldn't come today, you know. Doesn't like the bus ride out here.
Dad, are you hungry? Would you like me to cook you something?
I didn't order any room service.
Look, will you please just talk to me and stop this nonsense?
Oh, hello. I'm Grace. I'm the community nurse. You must be Matthew. Teddy's told me so much about you. Oh, it's so good to have you here. We were getting a bit worried about Teddy being here alone. You know, with the dementia.
Dementia?
Oh, yeah. He has his days, you know. Oh, but your dad is such a gent.
Will you take me to the party? I can't find my tie.
Oh, don't you worry, babes. We will get you all prim and proper. You head on to your room, and I'll be there in a second, okay? It's so lovely that you're home now to care for your dad. Oh, we were afraid we might have to arrange for him to go into a care home. You know, some of them places are like prisons. Just horrid they are.
How long has he been like this? I mean, he seemed fine yesterday.
I've been 3 years now, I think. They have their moments when they seem perfect.